What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Popcorn Perspective. For today's Perspective Pop, we are going to talk about Mannerless. Mannerless. Okay, I know by now y'all are like, well, we've seen too much of this guy. That was me too. It wasn't like a voluntary click on the movie, but hey, you're in for a treat. Let's get into it. So how I got to watch it was I knew it was coming out, and I just didn't know when. So it was, I think, 2 or 3 days ago, the day it came out, or the day after, I'm not too sure. So I came back from work and I found my sister watching it. So I had her stop. She just paused, and then I grabbed myself my plate of food, and then we started watching. I'm just gonna tell you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, it is so funny. You are going to laugh. We laughed like crazy. It was really, really, really entertaining, and that is the reason why you are seeing this today. So the plot follows three young adults. I don't know, they're not teenagers. Yeah, the young adults, right? Of the upper class. Okay, so there is one who's like really, really rich, son of a business tycoon, living with his cousin, right? And then those are the guys, and then the lady is just a person, for really nice lifestyle, who's living alone. So that is basically it. The girl happens to be the materialistic type. She's the I don't date broke guys type. And then the two guys, one is rich, and then one, obviously, because the family is rich, is just there. So yeah, I'm just gonna say, right, we love this guy here. Where am I gonna put him? I'm gonna put him here. We love him, okay, but I just feel he was not supposed to be the lead in this. Okay, obviously all three of them are leads, but he was not supposed to be the rich guy. Not in this one. People are gonna kill me for this, but yeah, not in this one. He was not meant to be the rich guy here. So apart from that, that's the one thing I didn't like, but everything else was so great. It was so entertaining. And yeah, so because the lady is the materialistic type, the guy is like, well, I want her to love me not because of my money, because of me. So they switch places with his cousin. So they role play that is the rich guy, and then this other one is broke. It is so entertaining. You're gonna laugh like crazy. So let's get into the life lessons. Okay, onto the life lessons. The first one, the most unserious one. Keep your conversations private. So this girl is getting out of her car, busy talking over the phone, and the rich guy happens to be there. They were at the mechanic shop. So the rich guy happens to be there, and he listens to the conversation, and then he has heard it also a couple of times since they live in the same complex. I'm just like, bro, whatever you think you are, you don't have to be shouting it over rooftops, So yeah, that is an unserious one, but yeah. Okay, so on a serious note, I want to speak about manners. I think I'm a pretty well-mannered individual. This girl was just rude. She was rude. She didn't know how to speak to people, and I'm just like, bruh, even though you have the money, even if you are the richest person on the planet, you do not treat people this badly. Even the people that were trying to help her, she was just being so loud, so mean, and it wasn't cool. It wasn't looking pretty on a lady, So yeah, the first lesson is to I can't really put words to this. Yeah, lesson number one is actually to be kind, to have manners. Yes, I'm not really sure how you would categorize manners, but yeah, she just didn't know how to treat people well, and that was like, you know, as not just as a lady, as an individual, as a person, you have to treat people the way you want to be treated, and obviously she doesn't want to be yelled at or insulted anyhow. So yeah, that was the first thing I learned, or like, that struck me of the movie. And then the second thing, not really a life lesson, but like the theme of this whole thing is the heart wants what it wants. You can have your standards right here. When your heart doesn't want, it doesn't want, and when it does, it does. It's so funny actually how when it comes to love and stuff like that, your brain and your heart do not, like, they're not in sync. I'm trying so hard to make this make sense in my head as I'm talking to you guys. So like, yeah, that's just the main theme around this. And the life lesson I would draw from it is that, well, I don't think there's a life lesson there. Now, like, seriously, the second lesson is that you shouldn't play with people's emotions. These two guys, they literally played her, in the sense that while she was trying to get together with the one she liked because of the money, the other one was also slowly, undercoverly, he was slowly making his way into her heart, and that wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. So what I learned is that you shouldn't play with people's emotions. If you want something, you can be upfront about it and be like, what, girl, this is what's happening. And yeah, so that is one thing I also didn't appreciate from the guys, because then even though she was being mean and disrespectful to the poor guy in the beginning, towards the end she actually started falling for him. And the other guy had to still be in the picture in order for their plan to work. I love playing, okay, but not when it comes to people's emotions. So yeah, that was one thing that I learned, or like that stuck out. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. But on the other end, also, you should be unbothered about certain things. That is actually the comment my sister made when we were watching it. So the guy that was, ordinary but playing rich, he was just so unbothered about things. He was just being, I don't want to say like free, but he was being so fun, or like, kind, or didn't take the situation as seriously as it was, and that is something I actually really liked. My voice is shaky. And yeah, the other thing is also kindness. You have to be really kind, and there has to be something genuine about you as a person. Despite the fact that the girl was so mean and arrogant and proud and all these things, the guys actually were liking her. The rich guy actually was being genuine, towards her, despite everything that is bad about a person. So what I learned from that is that you shouldn't really consider or like see first the bad side of a person without having spent enough time to learn and understand them as an individual. So yeah, that's one thing I learned. Yeah, so like I was saying before, you draw conclusions, you need to spend enough time with a person, because it's so much easy. It's so easy to say that, that person is so proud, arrogant, especially if you're an African, but that might not be what the person is. So before you decide on the character of a person, you have to spend enough time with them. Overall, it was really, really, really entertaining. And the other thing is that life humbles you. Life will humble you, because when she started liking the broke guy, she actually realized she learned, or like she learned that money is not everything. Money is not everything. This is an argument I have in my house most of the time. There would always be like, would you go for a rich guy, or would you want to build with somebody? And it's a conversation I always have. Honestly, I have no idea what exactly I would do, depending on my brain and my heart and the person and the person, or like the two people. Say for example, these two people where you have to make a choice from. I don't really know for sure what exactly I would do, if I would go for the money or decide to build with a person. Usually I always lean towards building wealth with a person rather than going for somebody who has it all already. So honestly, personally, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Before somebody pulls up this video 10 years from now and be like, hey, you see, this is what you said. But she learned actually that money was not everything, because the guy was funny, the guy was loving, he was lovable, he was all these things. That's what drew her to him, without him having the money that she constantly wanted, because the person that broke up with her in the earliest scenes was rich, and the guy she wanted was rich, but her heart was drawn towards somebody who was broke. So yeah, that is the other thing I learned. It's just that the heart wants what it wants. And their conversation towards the end, they actually finally talked about it as adults, as big guys. So when certain things happen, you need to communicate. I can never stress enough, communication is key. But that is not what this video is about. So thank you guys for watching. That was Mannerless. You should watch it if you want to have a good laugh. So yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and come back next week for my next Perspective Pop. Bye.